Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show. I'm so excited you're here. Today, I have a very special friend and new business partner in the studio with me. Welcome back to the show for the second time, Mandy White Eskelin.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I am honestly so excited to be here again. That was like 2 or 3 years ago that we filmed that very first podcast together. And wow, things have changed. We've grown, and so many exciting things have happened since then.
I know it's been a really incredible couple years. And I remember meeting you at the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing event, and I just felt an immediate connection with you. And we were partnered up for the partner exercise. And I knew I wanted to have a great conversation with you on my show. And you talked all about gut health and the gut brain axis. And I was just really blown away by your knowledge. I tried your Happy Juice product and I loved it then. And what happened was, it fast forward a couple years, I was, happily building my multiple streams of income. And when Modere closed, you were one of the first people that came to mind, just because we had such a great relationship and you always believed in me so much. And I remember we had dinner in Vegas once and you're like, I see you as a top leader in this entire profession. And I just believe in you so much. And that dinner, sitting outside there in Las Vegas, it really stuck with me because I felt that you really did. It wasn't like a sales pitch. I felt the connection. I felt that you believed in me. And I think that was a big part of the reason. And then when I looked into it deeper and saw just the corporate team, people like Asma Ishak, being the CEO and bringing over the world famous liquid biocell collagen and trim. And then I learned the systems that your team has. And someone like me, I have different businesses. I'm a coach, I'm a podcaster, I host luxury wellness retreats. I can't babysit people and do everything for everyone all the time, as much as I love people and want them to be successful. So what I loved about your team, Mandy, is you guys have so many systems. Like, you have training every day. You have so many overviews. You have so many ways for someone like me to plug in superstars and they can get the support they need without me having to babysit them. And I've got to say, I've been drinking my Happy Juice again every day for a month. Cheers. And I feel clear. I feel happy. I feel focused. I feel motivated. I can still sleep at night, even though it does have a little bit of a kick. It's got lion's mane and a little bit of caffeine. I'm sleeping like a baby. My digestion's great. And I'm just so excited. So I just wanted to tell everyone, let me tell you guys about Mandy. So not only is she my friend and new business bestie, she was number 3 in the world in professional fitness competition bodybuilding. So her discipline is like off the charts. She is a certified nutritionist from, am I saying it right, the School of Integrative Nutrition?
Yeah, Institute of Integrative Nutrition. Yeah.
Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So she is super well-versed. She is happily married to the love of her life, who is a former Swedish Navy SEAL. She has 2 kids. One's in Spain. One's a teenager living with her. She's a dog mom like me. And she's also, been a personal trainer to the stars. She had her stint in LA and had some celebrity clients, and she is just leading this team out. Someone on her team hit the top level in the company in 2 weeks. She has so many superstars on her team. And just watching you go from where I saw you a couple years ago to now being one of the top leaders in this entire profession is just so inspiring for me.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to cry with all of those incredible things that you said. Seriously, that gets me so emotional because my life was not always like that. And, that dinner that we've had and the connection that we've had, it's so genuine. And I feel that way for anyone that I meet, because I believe that there's enough room to champion other women in this industry. It's not about prospecting. It's not about, I'm going to recruit her. It's not about, oh, I need to squash her in order for me to be in the spotlight. That is absolutely not who I am. That's not the culture of the team that we built. because I believe in champion other women. I've always seen that. I'm like, gosh, Rebecca, I see you as a top leader, and I do. And now the fact that we get to lock arms and we're already starting to lead such an incredibly fast growing team, like I've already saw that, and now it's just coming into fruition. And so I do appreciate all the kind things that you've said about me, but it hasn't always been that way for me, to be honest. Like 8 years ago, when I first got into this industry, my husband and I were full-time personal trainers. Like we were married, we were full-time personal trainers. And like prior to that, we never got to see each other. We're 8, 10, 12 hours a day. We were training clients, and he had a job at night in the service industry. We got to be a family, like sit down and have a family dinner one night a month. And we did that for 5 years. So when I got in this industry 8 years ago, I just wanted some freedom. I just wanted that free time. I wanted to have my husband home with me. I wanted to be able to spend time with my kids. And so that's what I was really hungry for back then. Like, honestly, I started this industry to earn an extra $500 a month. It's not even a joke. Like that is all I wanted to make. I would have been super happy. And obviously we've made a lot more, and we've impacted thousands of lives, tens of thousands of lives now around the world. But it's more so like where I came from and knowing those struggles. And when you are talking about, you already have full-time things. You didn't want another full-time job. I get it. Like being in this industry, no one wants to, let me take on another full-time job on top of what I'm already doing, on top of my passions, on top of being a wife or a parent, whatever that is. And so that's one of the things that we've really strived for, especially with the team that I'm with for the last 6 years, is how do we help people create the leverage? How do we show people how to do this in the small pockets of their time, 1-2 hours a day? If you have more time, great. But what if you could make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month in the small pockets of your time, or even be able to leverage like a big team like you and not having to constantly be in the trenches? That's where the systems come in, and the leverage and the support and the teamwork that we have here in order to help you be successful. Because let me just brag on you for a second, because you had I think it was 9 enrollments in your first 2 weeks here. You hit 2 ranks, but the fact that you were able to do that and just pick up, lean into the system and create some duplication already in your team, I can't wait to see what this month is going to entail for you. So I'm super excited that you're here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was so fun. I just picked right up the momentum of the team, and I jumped in and I took advantage of the systems. And I really love the daily training, because I am all about community and, like you said, linking arms with other women and lifting each other up, and just having that check-in call every day. And every day it's a combination of mindset work and business training. And I think that is so important, because being an entrepreneur, it is a roller coaster. It is not all like unicorns and sunshine every single day. And it's been a bumpy transition in a lot of ways. I've had to say goodbye to some of my best friends that were like family to me. And having that community to lean into right away, I think is just so magical. But I know you had before you found, can I say the name? I guess we can, Amare. You were in Isogenics, and you were feeling like stuck, like you couldn't do the business, like it wasn't meant for you. And you almost went back to just being a full-time trainer, and you would have been 65 or 70 years old, still at the gym, trading dollars for hours. So
yeah.
What was it about Amare that attracted you, and what did you learn from your experience at Isogenics?
That's a very good question. Love this question. Well, when I got in, I mentioned I just wanted to make an extra $500 a month. And within 3 months, we were able to replace my husband's nighttime job income within 3 months. And then within a year, we were able to replace most of our full-time personal training income. Then we could just train clients online and then build network marketing and Isogenics. But here's what happened. We didn't have leadership. Okay. We didn't have leadership that was teaching us things. Of course we had upline, but it doesn't mean that they were teaching us how to do this business, learning the skills, training, any of that stuff. We didn't have a system. It was just my husband and I just selling products and selling products and selling products. And we recruited 250 people in 2 years.
Wow.
But we had zero duplication. because people looked at us and they're like, well, I don't have your background in nutrition. I don't have his background in fitness. I can't do this business. So because all they saw us doing was educating and selling products. And so I realized that we were the crutch. And this was one of the conversations that I actually had with Eric Worre when we were still in that first company, is he's like, Mandy, you got to stop being the product sales expert. And I'm like, I don't understand. He's like, you have to have a system. But I'm like, I don't understand because I never had that, right? So I didn't know what it was. What would a system entail? How do I leverage a system? I didn't have a clue. And so I realized that I was the crutch, because people would look at me and they say, I don't have time to go and learn all the information about these products or your knowledge on what to recommend. So I can't do this business. And so we came this close. I mean, literally at one of the other most powerful women events, this was like 6 years ago, I came this close to just throwing in the towel, but I saw people on stage, and I will say their names. I have like people in other companies, because it's not about that. I saw Sarah Zalecki on stage. I saw Margie Alaprani on stage. I saw Emily Ford on stage. I saw Marina Worre. I saw so many other incredibly powerful women on that stage doing this, and they were talking about systems, and and I'm like mind blown, like, hold on, there's a whole other level to this that I didn't even know, right? And so it was so inspiring to me that I saw them. I'm like, okay, if they can be moms, they can build this business, they can have success, I can do this. I just got to figure out these systems. And so after a couple of months, or a couple of months after that, I had met Miss Julia Thornhill and Mr. Brandon Thornhill. Obviously, so much synergies between the guys and, the whole, military thing. But then
how did you guys meet? At an Eric Worre event?
At that same Most Powerful Women, and we just stayed friends and we stayed connected, and it was just such a cool thing, kind of like you and I did, right?
Yeah.
Like, we just stayed connected as friends. It was never like they were prospecting me or trying to recruit us, nothing. Like, it was true, genuine friendship. And they had started talking to us about systems, and they, at the time, now Rebecca, this was 6 years ago, they had already created 30 six-figure earners on their team. And I'm like, wow, like, how is this even possible? And they start talking about, we launch we launch our new partners, we onboard them, we do this, we do this, we do the daily trainings that you were talking about, which we've been doing for years. And so I'm like, I need to learn more about this. And finally, it got to a day where we decided to just go check out. And this was 6 months later, just go check out in San Diego an event that they were having just for their team. It wasn't even Amari. It was like their team. And we saw them celebrating their team. We saw them talking about the system, and we're like, wow, I didn't even know that existed, right? Like, this is the type of leaders that I want to follow. People that celebrate other people, people that recognize them for getting a customer or, hitting the very first rank. It wasn't anything about like, oh, you're only recognized if you're at the top. We saw the culture of the team. And that was the day that Sami and I decided we left Isogenics and we enrolled that day, because we saw what they had, the success, the culture, the community. That's one of the things that we were missing, And so we made that move 6 years ago. And to be honest, I've never looked back. But when we came here, was it scary leaning into a new system? Oh my gosh. It was like learning a foreign language in like, just being thrown at you. It was literally like learning a new language and just leaning in. And Eric Worre told me, he's like, Mandy, don't take what you think you know from your first company and bring it here. If they've got systems, you got to unlearn that and just lean in and just lean in and just lean in. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. And we did. And Rebecca, when we leaned in and we followed the system, not joking, through losing our founders, they passed away in plane crashes 2 months after we joined this company.
Wow.
And then COVID, we still, in that time frame, our very first 8 months, those two big events happened, and we were still able to hit a six-figure position and earn six figures because of the system. And that, to me, it was everything. Like, it didn't matter what else was happening. The fact that we all still stayed using the same system, because I show you the exact same videos and social media prompts to use that I use, right? It's no different. We use the same system because that's where the duplication actually comes in.
Amazing. And how do you work your business with your husband? Like, how do you guys like balance your relationship with your business, with your workouts, with your co-parenting and all that great stuff?
That was a big learning curve too. Let me just say that was a huge learning curve because, when we were personal trainers, we were kind of doing our own thing, right? Yeah, we still worked at the same gym, but we were still like independent of
Yeah.
each other even. So becoming, him becoming a co-parent, that was a learning curve for him. Then when we decided to go into network marketing full time and decided to go pro, it was, I'm not going to lie, we definitely headbutted at first because it wasn't, we didn't understand then whose strengths were what, who was, all right, are you going to handle these like responsibilities and these tasks? It was both of us trying to have that like power struggle. And so it was a learning curve, let me just say. So the first couple of years, especially in that first company, it was difficult because it was just both us doing it. But when we came here and we saw a system that he could work with the men, right, and plug them into the system and coach the men and help them get success, and then I could do the same with the women, it totally balanced, our roles as entrepreneurs and network marketers. But then we had to establish those boundaries because working from home, what time do we turn, the phones off? What time do we, hey, let's time out for the night. This is relationship time. Or, hey, we're going to turn phones off and have family dinner. So we had to really work on communication, which I think is a huge key. Communication and respecting and setting boundaries for our relationship, for our family, and even within our business. So I wasn't micromanaging him. He wasn't micromanaging me. The first couple of years was a little rough, but not to say that no one can't do that. I like to shorten the curve for people when it comes to that kind of thing now so that they don't have to go through that learning curve that we did. But it does take, but again, he handles those things. And I don't know, now it's just kind of very fluid because I just say, hey, did you talk to that person? Or, hey, do you mind handling this? And he's like, hey, can you handle? It's not like we don't butt heads in business anymore. Now it's just that seamless, like a flow, right? And then we still have to say, hey, can we put phones away 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night and be about our family or about each other?
I'm so glad you guys have found that flow, and I'm so excited to meet him and have him meet my husband, Ben. Now, I know one of the perks that customers get when they sign up and get the Happy Juice or the Triangle of Health, which we haven't even talked about, maybe we should talk for a minute about that, is they get your amazing 21-day metabolic reset program. So why don't we talk a little bit about that? Because I think a lot of people are going to want to have a reset. It's, mid-May, it's almost bikini season, and it's time for the summer glow up. So what can you tell us about your amazing 21-day reset?
Oh, I love this. Thank you for asking that. Well, part of how this came about was when I was competing, or even after I had my kids, I lost weight in a very unhealthy way. And then I went on to compete, and that was very strict diets. I mean, I had a horrible relationship with food. I carried a food scale, Rebecca, in my purse with me to go to restaurants. Like, I would not eat anything unless I weighed it, track the macros. Very unhealthy, not sustainable either. There's no freedom in that. So after I went to holistic nutrition school and really understood how I needed to heal my body, break that cycle of dieting, the program that we collaborated with on this now has been 4 years. I had to think, 2021 was when we co-collaborated on this with a 30-year registered dietitian, nurse practitioner, celebrity nutritionist. We got together and came up with this program where we want to teach people how to break the cycle of dieting. And most people be like, well, no, I need to diet to look good in the swimsuit or to feel confident, in my shorts this summer. Actually, dieting is based in deprivation, right? And deprivation means we're going to pull things, the good things away, quote unquote, like fruit and stuff like that. We'll pull those things away. But a dieting is not what we do. That is deprivation. What we do is we teach people how to lower the inflammation in their body, how to balance their plate with protein, healthy fats, and carbs, meaning fruits and vegetables. So we teach people how to balance their plate every single meal that they eat. And what that does is it balances blood sugar. And here's the other thing that happens. A lot of people that diet, they don't eat breakfast. We're going to talk about a roller coaster here. They don't eat breakfast. They skip breakfast and blood sugar drops. And then people start to feel dizzy, maybe lightheaded, brain fog, lack of energy, really lack of focus. Their body starts craving carbs because their brain is trying to say, hey, I need food, I need fuel. So then they'll eat something like fruit or a bowl of oatmeal, and then their blood sugar spikes. And then their body is not going to utilize all of that. So it stores a lot of it as fat. Then they crash from that carb or sugar high, and then they start craving more sugar again. So it's this roller coaster. But how we teach people how to eat is protein, fats, and carbs every 3 to 4 hours. So your blood sugar stays like this. Now you're feeding your muscle, you're burning fat, you're decreased the inflammation in the body, you've gotten your digestion going, we've revved up that metabolism, and the cravings go away. The brain fog, obviously, a little bit of happy juice helps with that.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you've got the inflammation in your body, your cortisol levels are higher, you're storing more fat, you have more brain fog, you don't sleep at night, all of that stuff. But when we can lower that inflammation and the cortisol, now we get the body from fat storing to fat burning, which is what is ideal. And so what's beautiful here is we teach people in 21 days how to do this. In 21 days, it's not a diet. Do you want to know the biggest complaint that people have?
What?
This is too much food. I can't eat all this food. I'm not kidding. I've probably heard that 1,000 times. But the reason is because most people are starving themselves. So when we're teaching them how to eat, keep eating, what happens is the body gets trained. It's like a habit, right? If it knows you're going to feed it in another 3 to 4 hours, it's like, oh gosh, she's feeding me again. I got to hurry up and burn this off. And then you feed it again in 3 to 4 more hours. And then it's like, I got to burn this off. I got to hurry up and burn it off. I know she's going to feed me again, which gets your metabolism going and burning more fat, not from eating less, but by eating more. And so in 21 days, we reset the metabolism and we teach you how to eat real food, no more diets. You learn how to go to a restaurant and pick a protein, a fat, and a carb off of a menu. And that's how you eat. And it's so much freedom. And then literally you never have to diet again. And then we add in a couple of the supplements that are going to support with your gut health, your brain health, your metabolism, and even your vitamins, minerals, enzymes, antioxidants kind of thing.
Now, what about the philosophy that people do intermittent fasting because of autophagy, and it gives the body a chance to like clean out the toxins? And that's why they do, like, it lowers the inflammation in the body. It helps with like blood sugar when you do a longer fast and don't eat until like, mid-morning or midday. What is your philosophy about that?
I did intermittent fasting. It worked for a short period, but then I started getting very hangry. And what I mean by that is hungry and cranky because my blood sugar was really low. I would get really lethargic. Very irritable because blood sugar is low. So I know that once I hit perimenopause, and that's where I coach women, is usually I coach women that are 40 and over. I just turned 50 last month, but I've got women that are 35 and going into perimenopause. It doesn't work for us. There's different theories that might work, but I will say for women entering into the perimenopause, your blood sugar does drop, because usually your blood sugar is the lowest when you first wake up in the morning. And so that's why we train people to eat, to feed your body within that first hour. Because, okay, everybody's got a car or you've ridden in a car. It either needs gas or electricity in order to go down the road, right?
Right.
Our bodies do too. But if your car is out of gas, are you going to go and push it because you're like, nope, I'm not putting gas in you until noon. I'm not going to put any more fuel into you until like later in the afternoon, but I still need you to go and work. I still need you to get me from point A to point B. But somehow we expect our bodies to do that. And what happens is when your blood sugar is already lower, that's why people, when they test their blood sugar, they test it in the morning, because that is when you've been sleeping all night. That's when your blood sugar is the most, that's the lowest point. So if you don't eat within an hour, your blood sugar is going to drop even lower. And then that's when the hanger comes, the crankiness, the dizziness, the lightheadedness, the lack of energy, the cravings come on hard because your body is trying to signal to your brain like, hey, I need food. I need some fuel or I can't function. Now, here's the other part. Most people think, oh, you're going to burn fat when you do that. Well,
right.
Here's and I'm talking really perimenopause women, okay? Women 35 and over. When you are doing that, your body has a choice. Okay, I've got muscle, which is very healthy tissue, or I've got fat. And she's not feeding me. I've got to utilize one of them, and it's going to utilize the muscle first. So it's going to actually eat away at your muscle first in order to fuel itself because you haven't put gas in your car, in your body, right? And then now you're losing muscle. People might think, oh, well, I've lost a few pounds. Well, guess what? You've most likely lost muscle because your body will eat away at the muscle before it's going to eat away at the fat. And the other part of this, as a woman in perimenopause, we lose about 5%, even up to 10% of muscle mass every year as we age. So you already got that working against you with your hormones. Now you're not feeding yourself. Now that's what we call skinny fat, where, you might be the same weight on the scale, but it kind of feels softer and fluffier and less tone and definition. Why? Like, that's not, I don't think anybody says that they want that, right? Like, we would rather have that, like, more toned, lean, defined body, which is where we come in and teach you eat within that first hour with protein, fuel those muscles so you can keep the muscles, because muscle burns fat. I'll even repeat that. We want to fuel your muscles because muscle burns fat. So that's why we eat, to balance blood sugar within that first hour. And then your body is like, okay, she's feeding me. I don't need to store any more fat. I don't need to eat away at any more muscle. I'm good. And then that's where we keep that homeostasis, where we go from that fat feeding the muscle and fat burning stage.
So what is your ideal breakfast?
One of my favorites, either I have one of our plant-based chocolate origin shakes. It's got four plant-based proteins in it.
Wow.
With some almond milk. And I like it. I love the chocolate. It's not super sweet. It's more like a brownie mix, not like a super sweet chocolate. But I have that. And sometimes I'll blend in some strawberries or raspberries in it. So then I've got a macro balanced shake with a little bit of fruit, right? A little bit, not like a banana and peanut butter. No, I don't do that. But that's usually my go-to. Or I will do like two scrambled eggs with an extra egg white in it. So I've got my healthy protein and my healthy fats from the yolk. And then I'll have I love raspberries. I'll have raspberries on the side. And there's so many health benefits to red raspberries. So that would be my other one. So I've got my protein, my healthy fat, and my carb. And every meal is I eat that way. Every single meal, I don't even think about it anymore. I just automatically know what goes on my plate. And that's what it is. Lunch today, I browned some ground meat, like with onions and garlic. Lean, drained it all, but it still has a little bit of fat in there. So I love sweet potatoes too. They also help balance blood sugar. So I'll take like half a cup of these cooked sweet potatoes that I have, and I'll have that ground beef with it. Again, I've got my protein, my fat, and my healthy carb. Every single meal that I eat is like that. So it's not that I don't have carbs. I eat properly to balance my blood sugar and keep the muscle and burn fat.
So does gluten-free bread count as a healthy carb?
Not exactly. Sometimes I'll have that. Like maybe I'll have scrambled eggs with a piece of that, but I wouldn't do it like an everyday thing. It could, but I like to really train people, especially for the first 21 days, take all that stuff out. All of that processed food, like let's actually have real whole food. And then after the 21 days, we can bring in the gluten-free bread. We can bring in some dairy products. And I want you to see how your stomach and your digestion, your body feels, because now we've gotten the inflammation down for 21 days. And when you bring some of those foods back in, you might realize like, wow, my stomach really doesn't like that food in particular, because you haven't had those inflammatory things for 21 days. And now you put it back in. And I've had so many people go, oh my gosh, I can't eat cheese anymore, when they were eating it every day before. Because now the body has gotten time to decrease that inflammation, digestion's going, and now you'll actually feel whether your body wants that food or does not want that food anymore. And then it's your choice. I still choose to have it, but I have it in moderation.
Speaking of inflammation, I know the Triangle of Health is something that is amazing at reducing inflammation. I know a lot of people here know about the Happy Juice, but tell us, what is the Triangle of Health?
Actually, that was one of the products 6 years ago that I fell in love with, got so excited about, because no matter how healthy or clean you eat, like even with me eating that way, and I eat that way, by the way, 80% of the time, I'm not perfect by any means. I still have wine. I still have my margaritas. I still have a treat on the weekends. I don't call it a cheat. I call it a treat. But because I'm not doing something bad, right? Like I'm not on a diet. So there's nothing to cheat on. So I'm having a treat. But hold on a second. Sorry, I just saw somebody walk at my door and it threw my train of thought off. Amazon here. But you were asking, hold on. What was
I was asking about the Triangle of Health, but I I call it Fun Food Friday. On Friday, I get to eat whatever I want. So I
I
don't
love
call
that.
it,
I love that.
like in my house, we're like, yay, it's FFF, Fun Food Friday.
I like that because it's not that it's a mental thing that you're not doing something bad or wrong, right?
Right.
You have that. We call them celebration meals. Let's go have a celebration meal, right? Let's go
Yeah.
have a treat or something like that. But I like that FFF because it's creating a different relationship here with food that you're not doing something bad. And
Right.
that's when your body starts responding. So thank you for reminding me of the question, the triangle of health. So even when you're eating super clean and healthy, we cannot get everything from our food alone today. It's just impossible. It's just our soil is overturned, our produce is picked before it's even ripened from these the producers, and it's either sprayed with a chemical on the way to the grocery store to produce its color, or it ripens on the way to the grocery store. So you might be holding this pretty apple, but that apple from today, and if you compare it to an apple from 40 years ago, you would have to eat like 8 apples today to equate to all of those important micronutrients. Spinach, if you took a bag of spinach today and a bag of spinach from 40 years ago because of the soil, you would have to eat 12 bags of spinach. I don't know about you, but I don't have time to chew all
That's a lot of spinach.
all of it, right? So what's really important is having something that will fill in the nutritional gaps. And that's where the triangle of health comes in. It's antioxidants, powerful, liquid, concentrated antioxidant. So it helps on a cellular level. It is also your vitamins, minerals, enzymes. And so we need those things because we don't get that from our food. So we have water soluble ones in sunrise that we take in the morning. We have sunset, that's our fat solubles and really potent antioxidants that we take at night for us to sleep. And then we have Nitro Extreme, which supports, and by the way, this product right here, this has been around for over 15 years. So it's made from the wild noni fruit. You put it underneath your tongue. It also has zinc, magnesium, niacin, CoQ10. So it's great for your heart and immune system. But you put it under your tongue, you swallow it, and it supports your body's own production of nitric oxide, which is circulation. Because most people, and maybe someone on here is over the age of 40 or 50 that has high blood pressure or knows someone with high blood pressure, what happens is as we age, our nitric oxide levels begin to decline. It's what holds open the arteries for our heart to be able to pump blood and oxygen to our cells and then carry out and flush out the toxins. But as we age, our arteries, the nitric oxide levels get lower and our arteries get smaller. So do our veins. Hence why people have high blood pressure. So our Nitro Extreme, this actually helps our body produce more nitric oxide, increases circulation, allows it to push all of those nutrients to our cells, and then detoxify our body by carrying out all those toxins. And so that's the triangle of health. I recommend it to fill in all of the gaps of what we can't get from our food.
So when you take the triangle of health, you're pretty much covering all the fruits and vegetables that you're not getting or don't have time to eat. Because I know we're supposed to get 9 to 12 servings a day of fruits and vegetables. And who has time to eat 9 to 12 fruits and vegetables? I know you don't, with the fastest growing team in network marketing. So speaking of that, what does it take to join your team? What are you looking for as far as new business besties, and how can people link arms with us?
I love that. And our door is always open. There's always a seat at our table. I promise you. And when people really get to feel the genuine, authentic, integrity people that are in our team, that's why so many people have gravitated towards our team in particular during the triumph, the tragedy, they've gravitated.
Triumph. I can see why you said triumph.
I should say we've helped people turn that tragedy into triumph. Not necessarily mine. I can't claim it all. Honestly, it's a team effort. It's a team. But what people see here is, oh my gosh, you guys are really supportive. The leaders here are never too big to do the little things. They really aren't. And we'll be in the trenches. We want to help. We want to onboard. Yeah, the first couple of weeks, oh my gosh, it was 12, 14-hour days of Zooms to where I even lost my voice. That doesn't matter. I will keep doing it because people deserve to have that type of support. And so we look, honestly, people that are open, coachable, and hungry. That has to and I'll elaborate on that. I know that's kind of like a cliche in the industry, open, coachable, and hungry. But the fact is, A, are you open to learning something different and something more, right? Because if you come here and think, oh no, this worked for me, I'm going to use that here, it might not work, right? Just so you're not open. Coachable, like we're going to show you what works. It's proven systems. You can choose to use it with your team or not, but we know that it works. And when you lean in, we get this all the time, like, oh my gosh, I never had systems like this at my previous company. I thought I had systems, but I had nothing like this. And then when we're talking about hungry, like truly caring about people. This isn't about a sale. This isn't about having commission breath. This isn't about egos by any means. This is about, I'm hungry for more for my family, more free time, more impact around the world, because we're already in over 35 countries. So do you want more in your life? And maybe just for you right now in that season that someone's in, that more might be, I just want more free time with my spouse or my kids. That's okay. We're going to show you how to do that. And so hungry for more, and not like complacent, not like, I'm good. Great. Like, you want more in your life. You want to help other people. You want to impact people. That's the type of people that we look to lock arms with, and we go hip to hip with them. And that's not a joke. And you've seen that over the last couple of weeks. And even with what you've brought in, like, let's go. Like, I want to help them. Like, this isn't all on you. This is our team. And this is our teamwork that we get to do this together, because this isn't about, the hustle culture. We want to show people how to do this in the pockets of your time block, get this done in the morning, reach out to people in the afternoon from lead generation from your posts. Like, we want to show you how to create pockets to be able to build this so that you can have more in life.
I love that it's not about hustle culture, because the mission of this show is empowering people to go from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. It is called the Mental Wellness Company. So that is something that really attracted me. How do you actually help people to find out how to work with you? What are you willing to do right now with all the growth of your team? I know you don't really have a lot of time, but I know you're going to do something really special for the people who happen to be listening to this.
Yes, you and I will make the time, Rebecca. We're partners in this. We're business partners here.
We are.
And so anyone that's watching this, if you want to sneak peek at what our systems are that we're talking about, what is it? How is the culture different? I will open it up to anybody that is watching this to actually schedule like a 15-20 minute call with you and I together. Like, I want to hop on Zoom. I want to connect genuinely. I could send you a video, but I love that connection. I think it's that, we're in a high tech world, but we can still be high touch. And I want to open it up to your people, your followers, your friends that are watching this, to be able to have like 15-20, look, I'll even block out 30 minutes, right? But hop on with us. Like, let us show you what's different. Let us show you a sneak peek behind the scenes. Let me show you our blueprint. Let's show you the proven systems, and really get a chance to connect and see if this is a good fit. And that to me is so important, not just sending a video. No, it's not the same. And so anybody watching this, I would like to do that, if that's okay with you, Rebecca, is that we open it up so we can schedule some calls and get to connect with some people and let them really see what's different here. No hype, no free kits being given away, no money throwing at people, like just true, authentic, integrity-based culture and systems here.
Wonderful. We want to know what your dream is, what your vision is, and Mandy is going to show you how Amare would be a vehicle to get that vision faster, because everybody here has tried stuff like this before, and you all have like, oh, I've done this before. I've done 9 companies, okay, before I met Amare. 9. I think Amare is my 10th, and I have never felt a heart of a leader like Mandy or Julia or Christine, Julia Thornhill or Christine Whitley. I've never seen the camaraderie, the compassion, the vision, the mission. I mean, my God, your team, not even the company, your team is like saving a village in Mexico.
Built schools, water wells, we contributed to that. We love giving back. We've donated over $300,000 to combat human trafficking. And that's all just from our team's proceeds that we give back every single month from whatever our team does. So it's a beautiful thing. We love to give, but it's like, how much do we love to put into giving and giving back to other people?
And people can say that, but you've actually, changed the destiny of thousands of people through your monthly contribution. And I'm just so excited that we met 2 years ago. Now we're finally getting to work together. I love your heart and the mission of this team. And I just know that people are going to want to be a part of it. So make sure you comment Zoom below. Comment Zoom, and I will reach out and I'll make sure that you get some one-on-one time with Miss Mandy Eskelin White, superstar, have one of the best months of any leader across the board in any company in this entire profession. And she is willing to get on a Zoom with you. And I always think it's great for good people to know good people, whether we decide to partner together or not. It's always great to know a good person like Mandy and a superstar in the business world and also in the nutrition coaching world. So thank you so much, Mandy, for being my friend and for being my new business partner. It's been so much fun working with you these past 3 weeks, and I can't wait to see where we go.
I know, we're just getting started, girl. I always knew we were going to do something big together, but either way, I love championing other women and really showing them unconditional just support and love and cheering each other on. And I believe that's what this industry needs more of.
Comment Zoom below, and we'll see you on a private call. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.